Right now on Denver 7 News at 7 o'clock on Local 3, a bill to combat the fentanyl crisis is now headed to the governor's desk. We're breaking down some of the last-minute changes in the wording made with just a little time left in the legislative session.
Rethinking safety in the wake of the Marshall Fire, the new building regulations Boulder County will consider today. Plus,
I think it's once in a lifetime.
The Joker getting a hero's welcome in his home country of Serbia after becoming the 13th player in NBA history to win the league's top award in back-to-back seasons. And the Nuggets were there along with his family in his home country.
And he got that amazing crystal basketball.
Yes.
I want him to tell me my future, I think.
No, that's what it looks like. Hey, welcome to Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo is here. You can tell us the future today, Lisa. What's happening in the weather?
And we're always 100% accurate, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, always. We are looking at today being another, unfortunately, windy day. Red flag warnings are posted for all of eastern Colorado. The northern and southern Front Range Mountains in through the San Luis Valley, you're going to find some gustier winds. Those winds coming in out of the west today as a cold front races through the state. So this is in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. A beautiful shot here from Rocky Mountain National Park. We'll see a little bit more cloud cover there, and the winds are going to pick up in the mountains here starting this morning. We'll start to see that downsloping wind, and it's going to push our temperatures, it looks like, into the low 70s this afternoon. It is cooler today compared to yesterday. We hit a record-tying high of 90 yesterday. Today we're going to be at right around 70 to near 72 this afternoon in town. Still warm across southeastern Colorado, but cooler than yesterday. We had some near triple-digit heat yesterday. Coming up, we'll take a look at the winds, how long they're going to stick around. I know it's annoying. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
The fire danger is awful, too. We'll take a look at that through the weekend coming up.
We also, if you live up in the Boulder area around the Table Mesa Park and Ride, there is a police situation going on there right now, and it's a pretty dangerous situation, so just stay inside for right now. That's, again, near the Table Mesa Park and Ride up that way, which would be just off of Highway 36, Foothills, that area there. So watch out and just take care. I'll try to update you here in just a little bit as I hear more. The westbound side of Highway 36, let me take you to the camera here at 92nd Avenue. You still see some very slow traffic as it's continuing to wind down. We had a big crash, maybe even a road rage situation that happened up by Wadsworth, and this is still the resulting traffic jam. Now, it is getting better as you take a look at the travel time right now. It's still looking at about 30 minutes or so, but I don't think it's quite that long, closer to 20 minutes, but you will still find some delays up that way. About 30 minutes into downtown Denver, the rest of the freeways running pretty heavy in most of those usual locations for you here this morning, and we do have that one problem right down here at Platte Canyon in Bowles that might slow you down a little bit through Littleton.
Well, Colorado lawmakers wrapped up this year's legislative session overnight with just 24 minutes to spare.
Yeah, they had that midnight deadline. After a marathon of a day, though, several last-minute bills were passed, including one of the most controversial ones of the session, the fentanyl bill, which increases penalties for possession of the dangerous synthetic opioid.
Denver 7's Jessica Crawford is live at the Capitol this morning. There were some last-minute changes made to that measure, Jessica.
That's right. The big questions here overnight were, should possession of fentanyl be considered a felony or should it be considered something less? And that's something that lawmakers here had to compromise on. All the earlier things are still in that bill: harsher punishments for dealers and more money for drug treatment and testing in that bill as well. When the Senate passed its version last Friday, it included an amendment that reduced the threshold for felony possession charges from 4 grams to 1 gram. That is still enough of the drug to kill 500 people. The deal that was reached in a conference committee late last night is that if a defendant can convince a jury that they didn't know their drugs contained fentanyl, the felony charge could be dropped to a misdemeanor. Critics, though, are arguing that that opens a window for all cases to be considered misdemeanors going forward.
It's either I want to get this drug off my streets, or the others say, well, we want to just learn to live with it. I don't want to learn to live with this drug killing kids. I don't want parents to have to worry about whether or not their kid's going to come home from a Saturday night party.
What we're saying is that if you do come in contact with that fentanyl unknowingly, that you're not a felon. And that's so very important. We heard story after story after story of people who died from accidental or unknowing fentanyl poisonings. They should not be wrapped up in this.
Representative Mike Lynch, one of the sponsors of the original bill, asked for his name to be taken off of it because he thinks this final version doesn't go far enough, releasing a statement saying in part law enforcement has been clear on their position and adamantly opposed anything less than a felony charge for any amount of fentanyl possession. They've told us what they need in order to take decisive action and to save lives across our state. Governor Polis issuing a statement overnight calling the compromise bold legislation and saying that it goes a long way towards saving lives. We're actually going to hear from the governor at 9:30 today, so make sure to be tuned in for that. Live from the Capitol, I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Jessica. The FAA and NTSB are investigating a deadly plane crash near Rocky Mountain Airport in Broomfield. One person died, and you can see how scary the situation was. The video showing the plane engulfed in flames right next to an intersection. No one else on the ground was hurt. North Metro Fire says the plane went down just after 12:30 yesterday near El Dorado Boulevard in Interlochen. The road just reopened within the last hour, but authorities have not identified the pilot. As fire danger remains high today, the cause of a small fire near Evergreen Parkway and Highway 40 is still under investigation. Crews were able to contain it to 1/4 of an acre.
Well, the Marshall Fire was a big wake-up call for many of us who didn't think we had to worry about wildfires because we live in urban areas. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live this morning because Boulder County leaders are looking to change rules on building materials to help improve safety.
They are, and rules that currently apply in the foothills portion of the county, they would be extended countywide. This is what those changes would look like. We're talking about ember-resistant construction materials on the roof, attic venting, non-combustible gutters and downspouts, changes to decking and fencing materials. Now, despite the importance of these changes, officials say they are keeping a very close eye on the costs of this all.
Many of these materials are very comparable in terms of their cost to other traditional building materials. So we were really very, very aware that that many of these folks who are rebuilding are experiencing financial hardships. Many of these folks are underinsured, and we wanted to make sure that we weren't putting any obstacles, financial or otherwise, in their way.
So these changes, they will be presented to Boulder County Commissioners during a meeting today. That's happening at 11:30. If they're approved, they could go into effect as early as June 6th. We're in Boulder County this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Veronica. Well, since the Marshall Fire, the Community Foundation of Boulder County has received more than $40 million to help fire victims. And we asked officials, they say $5.5 million has been given out to families whose homes were damaged or destroyed. $1.5 million in financial assistance for workers who lost wages or equipment. Other money has gone to mental health services, people with wind damage to their homes, and to help with underinsurance.
Where are you really seeing the needs come through?
It's such a great question, Brian. You know, it takes time for needs to emerge and be made clear. Philanthropic dollars are meant to fill gaps. And really having an understanding of where those gaps are, what other resources are available or will become available, and how our funding can be, I call it caulking, right? The infill to those supports is really critical.
CEO Tatiana Hernandez telling me anyone impacted by the Marshall Fire can get up to 10 sessions with a qualified mental health therapist for free. If you're looking for assistance, boco.org/MarshallFire has a long list of resources.
Tonight we'll learn who the Broncos are playing and when this year. The team's regular season schedule will be announced at 6 o'clock tonight, and after that, Broncos single game tickets will go up for grabs. Inventory will be extremely low. The Broncos have sold out 393 consecutive regular season games, and the wait list for season tickets is over 90,000 now. And it's official now. Nikola Jokic is MVP for the NBA for the second year in a row. There was a big celebration for him in his home country of Serbia, and he arrived in style. Chariot, really. The Joker was out doing a harness racing workout. He pulled back up to find Nuggets coach Michael Malone, team president of basketball operations Tim Connolly, and President Josh Kroenke all waiting for him. They flew to Serbia to surprise him with the news. Jokic shared some hugs and kisses with his team, his wife, his daughter, and friends while a Serbian band played.
Very emotional moment for me, of course. I mean, I think nobody ever came here, so I think it's actually amazing. Tim was here and everybody, so I think it's once in a lifetime. Now I don't think about it, but probably when I'm old, fat, and grumpy, hopefully I'm gonna remember and I'm gonna tell my kids that back in the days I was really good playing basketball.
Yeah, no, he's going to be good, I think, forever. The 27-year-old averaged career highs of 27 points and 13.8 rebounds per game this season. He was the first player in league history with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in a single season.
Yeah, he's always so humble
about
his ability, but he can do it all. New changes are coming if you fly Southwest out of DIA. The billions of dollars in flight upgrades it plans to make over the next 5 years.
And students helping students, how a program at a Denver middle school is making a difference for 2 different groups.